Fellas, what if I told you that the best Marvel heroes aren't always the most obvious picks? In today's video, we're diving into the world of Marvel Rivals, breaking down the top 10 champions that will give you the edge in ranked play. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this list will change the way you approach every battle. Starting off with number 10, Hawkeye the Duelist. He has incredible range and the ability to one-shot squishy heroes. He does a ton of damage, and his ultimate basically allows you to auto-aim. His sonic arrow can knock down heroes out of the sky. His left shot has 2 damage counters. One for holding it, which will do more damage and go straighter and further, and the other one, holding your cursor over the enemy, charges another bar, which will do even more bonus damage. For the most part, Hawkeye is all about taking out single enemies over area of effect. He does have a double jump for his maneuverability. His shift does a large sweep, knocking back heroes, and his melee does deflect some projectiles, but doesn't send them back, so it's best used when going back to cover. His ult charges his bonus bar almost immediately, and good to know, jumping and then ulting will prevent them from just standing still for a few seconds. Hawkeye is about taking out the healers and squishy targets quickly, which will allow for your team to take down the tanks. He's a very powerful champion with nothing much else to him besides damage, which is why he only comes in at number 10. At number 9, we have Psylocke the Duelist. Her base attacks has decent damage and good range. Her ult is a large area of effect and attacks heroes one at a time. It is important to know you can take damage during their ult. Her cooldowns are reduced based on attacks used. Using her dash will let you move around quickly. Using her shurikens will give you a small shield upon recall. Psylocke is the second best DPS in the game. She has insanely fast burst combos from stealth and is the only reliable way to get picks. Also, solo ulting Mantis with Psylocke would actually pierce Mantis's ult and kill her through Mantis's ult. You want to be poking from an off angle. Her basic attack does so much damage. Often you could poke for free as enemies will not challenge you. Poking allows you to build up your ult very quickly. You want to use the stealth to get in position and then poke. You don't often want to be face to face challenging, but rather from afar with her attacks. The quick combo allows for shredding tanks as well. They do hit hard and they have some good strategy to them, which is why they come in at number 9. Number 8, we have Doctor Strange the Tank. Doctor Strange is a powerhouse of a tank, and his portal mechanic and ability to fly makes him a very unique choice. He plays at the front of the line and uses the shield to block enemies' projectiles, including ultimates. Be careful as the shield has a health bar and can break, needing to be recharged. His ult is a massive stun and literally knocks the souls out of the other team. Every time you deal damage, you gain dark magic. Once this reaches 100%, you no longer get the healing factor, but you do get a purple glow from the dark magic. The trick is to build up the dark magic but not stay at 100% for too long. Pressing E will release the dark magic with a higher build up, doing more damage. The ability to fly allows for moving around, and you could take out other flyers like Iron Man. Besides his shield, the portal is the most important game changer for him. You could choose where on the map to place it. Do note this is important. You can move the first portal. The portal will let your team get into important spots. It does have a long cooldown, though it's better to use more as a second life to get your teammates back into action. Doctor Strange is tanky. He's good for damage absorption and for stunning the enemy team, which is why he's cemented in at number 8. Number 7, a fan favorite, we have Venom the Tank. His base attack is best for going for headshots. You could swing around, and that is best followed up with the Frenzied Arrival, which is a diving strike. His E will generate bonus health against damage, which is very useful for a tank like Venom. Venom is meant to be played as an aggressive tank. Using their dive will shake up a group you're swinging on, and if things get hairy, using the shield will ensure you stay alive. You don't want to be hanging in the back or off to the side with Venom, but rather shaking and breaking the enemy team. The range on the base attack is actually pretty decent, and if in a pinch, using the ult will pull you underground to safety and allow you to swallow up and heal from the enemy heroes. Number 6 is a very interesting one. We have Magneto the Tank. Magneto is a great beginner character. He also does good damage with decent shielding to allow them to live longer. He can be great at medium range, but is best up close. Unlike other vanguards, other tanks, you do want to stay close to the other strategists to live longer. The ring behind him grows, showing his power level, and using the right click will do more damage the further along the ring is. His shots are slow, so you do need to lead a bit. The right click also has no length limit, but does not track. Like Strange, you can use the shield to block projectiles. You can also throw a shield on an ally or upon yourself. This is best used around half health or so on yourself. Again, you do not need to be on the front lines with Magneto, so sticking close to the healers is best and shooting from a distance. He does have a melee, everyone does. His not worthwhile. His ult will absorb all ranged attacks into an orb, and you could choose to fire the orb early or let it build and go off on its own. This does a nice area of effect attack, and you can see how much has been absorbed from the counter just beneath the orb. You can float further up in the area as well to see more of the field, but doing this will take on less projectiles, so it's not always the best choice. Overall, Magneto is a great protector, played close to the healers, that can still do damage from a distance, which is why he's number 6. Number 5 is an interesting one. We have Adam Warlock, the strategist. Adam is a good healer that does decent damage. He is a perfect off healer. His damage does fall off around 20 meters or so. He has a point and click heal that heals 3 times. It does not need to be 3 heroes to use this, so using this on a solo healer will heal them 3 times. Interestingly, Soulbound will split the damage evenly among those impacted, and this will allow for heavy hitters to take more damage. Your passive allows you to revive. You can hold the passive, allowing you to move a bit to get safe and heal. You do not need to instantly respawn onto the tanks that are hitting you. Now the ult is where things get really interesting. This allows all heroes on your team to be able to revive for 10-second period. It is a mass team res. This can be crucial for hardpoints or objectives. Don't hold on to this for full team res. Often reviving the tank can be the difference between a win and a loss. It's ranked play that we're looking at. A loss is not worth the 6-man revive clip farm. And then lastly, in our S tier, we have Luna Snow, the strategist. Another good offense in healing. You want to be sure to be healing, but she does have great range and damage. Healing can be a problem with her. You do need to have good accuracy to actually select the other heroes. She is fast as she starts skating after walking for a couple seconds. You can heal yourself and still attack, but you do less damage during this time. The reason why Luna Snow is so high on the list is because of her ult, Share the Stage. You can buff your teammates. This puts a shield and heals them, allowing you to heal another hero. So you have a shield on one, you go to heal another person, it heals both. Snow is very versatile between support and offense. She is also strong enough to be able to hold her own against tanks. Don't be afraid to attack. If your team has full health, you can be an attacker, which makes Snow the best choice of this tier. Now we are in the top 3 choices that you can pick. These characters, in my opinion, are not the ranking like the previous 7, but in a whole league of their own. They are god-like rank. Coming in at number 3, to no surprise of anyone who has viewed this channel before, we have Cloak and Dagger, the strategist. Cloak and Dagger is great in pubs or casual matches, but when it comes to ranked play, they shine more on a triple support play. If there are only 2 supporters other than Cloak and Dagger, it is best not to choose them. However, with high ELO games moving towards having a triple support play, Cloak and Dagger really does shine. Now this is not to say that Cloak and Dagger is a bad choice at all. In fact, I think they're one of the best characters in the game, but there are just better options for this case, where every action matters. But if there are 2 other supports, adding Cloak and Dagger to make a 3 will make your team almost unstoppable. Next, at number 2, we have Mantis, the strategist. The most important thing you need to know about them is that hitting a critical hit to a headshot will generate a life orb faster. You can use Spore to stun enemies. Using Natural Anger will boost your damage. You can also use your life orb to grant gradual healing to a teammate. Fantastic. Using a life orb or any ability will grant yourself healing as well. Then, when you're at full health, you can use any ability to make yourself move faster. Now, this is also important. Moving side to side does not keep your momentum up. To maintain your speed, you want to go in circles. The reason why she's at number 2 is because she is one of the best characters you can pick. Constant healing and team damage boost. Insane damage, good ult. Her ult is like Frost, just a little bit shorter. For her ult, you do need to be moving for this to take effect. You will grant healing over time and a speed bonus. Any extra healing done is then turned into bonus health. So we have someone who gives insane buffs, moves fast, great healing, and can rapidly use their abilities. Mantis is overpowered, broken, and a character that needs to be on everyone's team to tilt the odds in their favor. If the other team doesn't run her, you can basically guarantee that their team will lose. Finally, for the number 1 spot, we have the best choice. We have Hila. She does high amounts of DPS and then can quickly escape using her shift. The headshot multiplier is really quite high. Her right click can damage close enemies to the target as well. Defeating an enemy generates a crow that does a small AoE. This translates to being able to pull enemies in close together, chaining attacks, and wiping out those around her. Her ult sends her up high, where she spams crows down at the targets. In this stage, she has 1000 health, but she should not die unless the whole enemy team aims at her. Hila is OP in this situation. Oftentimes, it's better to run away from her than to try to fight her. Hila is squishy, but she has good options to live. Importantly, she's incredibly strong with the skill set to set off training reactions to wipe out the enemy team you're facing. She's powerful enough to not only be the only duelist on the god tier section of this list to get themselves placed at rank 1 out of all the characters that are available. And there you have it. Choosing any of these characters will help you and your team win your match and rank up. Please be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest Marvel rivals. And tell me, do you agree with the list made here today? Who should or should not be on this list? Let me know in the comments below. That's all for today. As always, keep on gaming.